Hey guys, welcome back. This is going to be my budgeting video for my paycheck from December the 3rd, which was yesterday. I am sadly back to real life. Last weekend I flew to LA and I went to the BTS concert at the SoFi Stadium and had the most amazing time. Spent, oh my god, so much money. Had a blast with my friends, got to see them in concert, which was like mind-blowing. And I'm now paying the price because there's always a price, right? So yeah, back to real life. I was gone Friday through Monday and then back to work on Tuesday, and it was just been sort of a whirlwind ever since I got back of catching up on things. I don't know what's with that, but yeah. So I'm starting balance in my account at $1,868.26. I'm minusing out $410. That is not mine to be spending just on regular spending. It was gifted to me from my parents for a very specific purpose, and it was originally $500, so it's being whittled down slowly as it is supposed to be, but I'm just nervous about accidentally spending it, so I just take it out of the budget right away. And then also a friend paid me $150 for doing some baking for her, and I still haven't figured out where I want to put that money. So I'm just minusing that out of my balance as well. Although, once I saw my Visa bill, really that money should just go on to the new debt. Okay, so my real starting balance is $1,308.26. I'm not sure about my paycheck because I was looking at it and it seems smaller than normal. Well, not looking at the check, but looking at the deposit in my bank. But my phone wouldn't let me log into the Payworks system that we use to check my pay stub. So I'll have to do that after I'm done all of this. Go log in on my computer and see if I can get in that way. So either I've been shorted or I don't know. I don't really know why it would be smaller. I don't know. I have to figure it out. So that's something fun to do. Okay, so I'm gonna pull out half rent, and then my student loan, the amount I'm pulling out or paying, I suppose, is changed a tiny bit. So I am fairly poor, and in Canada you have a thing called repayment assistance. So if you can't pay your student loan like the full amount that they want every month, you can apply. They assess how much money you're actually making and how much money they think they deserve a cut off, and then they'll adjust your payment based on how much you're making. Well, I was having a lot of technical difficulties because you have to renew it every 6 months, and it was up for renewal in November, and I kept trying and trying and it wasn't working. And so then I finally called to customer service, which is generally fairly useless with them, and explained that I've been trying and I keep having this technical problems, and they tried things on their end to sort of help me fix it, but it just wouldn't fix. I kept either getting a technical error message or a 404 error code page doesn't exist message, neither of which was helpful. And so then the guy was like, well, we'll have to send out a paper copy and freeze your account so that you don't like get in trouble while we're waiting for the paper processing to go through. But then I took a look at it and it shows you how much, because it had technically run out my repayment assistance, it was showing me how much my monthly payment was supposed to be according to them. And because the government, thanks to COVID, has taken away all interest charges until March of 2023, my monthly payment for my student loan is $50 and like 96 cents or 93 cents, 90 something cents. And I'm like, oh, but wait, I can afford that because I'm already paying $100 a month because I split it and every paycheck I put $50 on. And so then I was like, you know what, don't even bother dealing with the technical stuff and freezing the account and sending me a paper form to fill out and all of that kerfuffle. Like, just leave it and I'll make the payments because that I can afford, which is saying something, because it's not that I don't want to pay off the debt, but the fact that when the interest charges are added on there, it becomes an amount that is unmanageable by me to be able to pay. But as soon as they take the interest off, I can actually afford to pay what they want plus extra. Ridiculous. Oh, governments. So you need to make your monthly payment anytime before the end of the month, but you have to take into account processing time. And in years past, when I was making enough money that I was actually just making payments, I very often would get emails from them saying that I had missed a payment or I was late, and it really can wreak havoc with like your credit rating and stuff, because I would put it through on my second paycheck of the month and they wouldn't process it in time. Well, it's not their fault. Like, it just, the processing time of the systems took too long. And so then it showed as me being late, even though I had made the payment in good faith in what I thought was enough time. So I've decided that since I make payments bi-weekly anyways, I'm going to up it to $51 so that even when, like say for this month, for example, in 2 weeks when I make my next payment, if it doesn't process in time for their system to realize that they got it before the end of the month, I'll still be okay because they would have received the $51 payment from this paycheck, and that will cover the amount that they want from me, which was the $50.90 something cents. So I'm upping it by a whole $2 a month, my payment, and not this week when I'm doing a whole bunch of math figuring out money from the trip, but in time for January. I always sort of do goals for the new year. I am going to see if I can figure out how to pay it off before the interest kicks back in March of 2023, because that is apparently when it's going to kick back in. I think that means like making payments of $200 a month, like every month going forward until that month. And I don't know if I can actually manage that, but even if I can just make a bit more, and then every time I get extra money from, like, say, like my government climate check and things like that, I can just funnel it onto that debt versus onto like my line of credit debt, then I get rid of a student loan. And it's my last student loan. I've paid off like 5 of them already. This one started at over $18,000 and now it's in like the $3,000 range, which is mind-blowing to me that it's so low, even though 3,000 something dollars is not low at all. It's still a ton of money, but compared to 18 grand, I'm flying high over here. And that was a lot of rambling for my student loan. Apologies. Okay, minus 53 for my savings challenge. Okay. And then we're gonna go minus 250 for gas, which we are still limited to. We're only allowed to get 30 liters at a time, which, you know, just means that every time I get to about half a tank, I have to go and fill up versus letting it get a little bit lower, just because I'm worried that if it gets too low, I mean, I'll never get it back up to full unless I play a loophole in the system by going to one gas station and then driving a couple blocks and going to another. But it feels like cheating. The whole point is that there isn't enough gas to go around, so I shouldn't be like working the system like that, right? I already did some grocery shopping yesterday. I spent $54 and change at Safeway, so I'm giving myself the remainder of my food budget. There we go. So $105.03. My sinking funds. Well, you'll never guess what I did last time. I marked my savings challenge as my sinking funds, but kept it at the $53 withdrawal, and then didn't anywhere else in the math deduct the $188.04 that's actually for my sinking funds, but did contribute to my sinking funds. So the number I had as like my safety net at the end of last week was, or 2 weeks ago, was completely false because it was missing the fact that it needed to have this deducted from it. And I actually only noticed it today because I always go back over the previous 2 budget, like the papers, to take a look at it to make sure that I don't forget any bills or anything. And I was all, where's the sinking funds? But then I have all the codes that I wrote down beside the sinking funds, like I list them down here on the bottom of the page, just as confirmation to me that I paid them. So I know I transferred the money over, I just didn't calculate it in this. So, you know, brilliant move, brilliant. I owe a friend from the trip $47.87. So that'll bring me down to a remaining balance of $220.82. Now, I used my credit card exclusively while I was traveling because a lot of the venues, well, I say a lot of the venues, the stadium venue was saying that they only accept card, and it seemed safer to use my credit card than my debit. So I decided just for the whole trip, everything I did, I would charge the Visa card and then just figure out the math afterwards, because then it'll also calculate for me on my Visa statement the exchange rate in between American and Canadian, which, let me tell you, is a killer, an absolute killer. Because something in the States that costs $8.63 cost me $11.33 Canadian, and it just gets worse from there. So we had a friend and I split Uber and a rally bus thing that turned out to be a disaster. And then we had parking at the airport over here, and we purchased something combined at a store because if you bought like two, you got one of the items half off. So we just agreed to split everything even. Plus the lineups for the merch at the concert were insane. So what we would do is we'd have different people in our group lined up in different lineups and just keep in touch on the phone to see what they still had available at the different locations. So we were all kind of buying for each other and then just calculating it out later. So I did a whole bunch of math today, and people owe me money, which is why I'm not super fussed yet about putting a payment onto my line of credit. I mean, I absolutely have to, but I have money coming to me from a friend who owes me money from the trip. And then see, we had a whole issue with COVID testing, because you have to get COVID tested to come back. And we got a COVID test at Walgreens for free on the Saturday, and that seemed to be fine, like it was supposed to work. But then late Sunday night, we were like, we still don't even have the test results. Like when you log into the portal, it was still showing that the stuff wasn't even at the lab yet, let alone being tested. And it's like, oh my God, we fly out on Monday. What are we supposed to do? So then we booked an appointment at a testing site at the airport. That's $200 American, but they guarantee your results within 60 minutes maximum. So it's kind of like an emergency. You're a traveler and you're hooped for some reason, so you need to get an emergency test done. And then I remember on the website it was saying that if you cancel, there's a $50 non-refundable portion of that, but the rest of it you're supposed to get refunded. So then when we were at breakfast at Mel's Diner on Monday, our test results came through, which was great. So then I immediately canceled the testing appointment at 1 o'clock on the day. And my bank account, or not my bank account, but my Visa statement is still not showing the refund. It's showing the full amount charged. So I have called them, and they will not talk on the phone if you're contacting them about billing. They just say you get an automated message saying they're really busy and to leave them a message or to email them. So I left them a voicemail and I have emailed them, but I'm well aware it is the weekend, and so probably the people who work in billing aren't going to answer until, if I'm lucky, Monday. So I don't know. If I don't hear from them by, I say, like Tuesday, I'll try them again, and then I'll contact Visa and see if they can help me with the charge. I don't know what to do. Oh, I have to pull out $50 for my parents' housekeeping, because I'm assuming that's going to happen before. Will it happen before? I don't know. I'll pull it out just in case. It can't hurt. I just like to make sure that I've accounted for it. Okay, so I have a buffer of $170.82, which is not enough to make me comfortable, which is again why I have to go and double check my paycheck, like the pay stub. I'm thinking that 150, I might just put it on to the debt, because my credit card racked up not only charges from the trip, but it's also racking up Christmas present buying. And so I moved everything to the line of credit, and now my line of credit is very sad. It took me so long to pay that off, and I'm just like racking it up. But part of my brain keeps being like, it's okay, because once like my friends pay me back their portion, like it won't look so bad, and then I have some money and savings that I'm planning on putting on there. So, you know, like, it'll be okay, right? Yes, it will be okay. I've decided it is. So I'm going to, my snack this time is, I got myself some Starburst because I ate all the chocolate. So I'm gonna have some Starburst and actually go and transfer the money over onto like the paying the things and moving it where it needs to move, double checking I haven't forgotten anything, writing up in a more tidy fashion all the money, the breakdown of like the expenses from the trip, just because I'm a weirdo and I like to do that. And yeah, I will be done. I hope you guys are having a really great day where you are. Enjoy yourself, the weather, whatever it happens to be doing. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks. Bye.